Morning. Mm-hmm. By my calculation, this would be welcome to your Friday morning in the 34th week of Lent, the third Tuesday of the 34th week of Lent. Yeah. Makes it a little easier on me anyway, because we can just do pretty much exactly what we did last week. So that's nice. Extremely little chance anybody's going to watch this because I feel like everybody's going to be watching for other things on the internet in this moment at the top of an hour on an election week. But anyway, just a check in with all of our Foundry family and a reminder about how we are present in this time and how we are going to move forward. Hi, good morning, Lee. Good to see you on here. We are very glad to have been out this week. Some of you have come out to the prayer services or joined us online. Some of you have been physically present for prayers on the plaza at the church, which is great. We've had opportunity this week in a really intentional way, but in also a very lovely way to be present with the other congregations in the downtown area, in particular John Wesley AME Zion, Asbury United Methodist, and Mount Vernon Place United Methodist, as we share a collective witness of peace, but consistently remind ourselves to our call of building community and dismantling those things which separate us out. And if you know the history of the congregations, the white supremacy and systemic racism present within the sort of foundry congregation that led to the divisions and the creations of the other spaces throughout history in the 1830s and beyond. More recently, we've had opportunity to wrestle more intentionally with those things which caused violence among the congregation and start to work intentionally to rebuild good relationships grounded in the gospel message. So really grateful to be able to be out with all those neighbors and fellow Methodists in this moment. It's grounding in that it reminds us of the work that we've been doing, but also the work that remains. It really doesn't change. Whether your emotions are up this week or down this week, the call remains the same. And we are to be a consistent witness and ambassador for the good news for the poor in particular. So that's helpful. I hope that can help maybe perhaps ground you. This weekend, similar to last weekend, if you have plans to be present in spaces around the city, either to wait and watch for election results or to carry forward a message pertaining to making sure that all votes are counted, then we invite you to make sure that you have done some research and some reading and some learning related to how to be present in a nonviolent way and in a consistently peaceful witness, and if it is within your power, to be a person who interrupts violence. And so Brian is going to share for us in the comments the resources from our friends, the Quakers, and he'll put those into the comments now, and you can look at the virtual trainings that they have offered. And I just invite you to be familiar with those types of resources. Faith in Public Life is also a good resource, and so you can take a look at those, and they serve you well in this moment, but in every moment, because it is a way to remind yourself of the consistent witness that you are called to be, and the way that you are called to do it. So I invite you to take a look at that. This weekend in particular, please be mindful that, yeah, I mean, you already know this. Not everybody's emotions are the same. Some people are up, some people are down. And over the course of this weekend, it's more likely that both people whose emotions are up and people whose emotions are down are likely to be present in the public spaces of DC this weekend. And so you should be aware of that, and then choose wisely whether or not you want to show up in those spaces, and be prepared by having a buddy with you, by understanding, having some grounding understanding of how to be present in what could be potentially hostile situations, and then have some grounding in how you can work to either disrupt or de-escalate, or stay home, which may be the best option. So just please be mindful about what you're doing and where you're doing it this weekend, and then be grounded in the type of witness you're called to be. This weekend on Sunday, we have a chance for communion, and I didn't prep Brian for this, but my guess is he can find it. We'll have communion on Sunday. I think it's 3 p.m. You should register ahead of time. I think that's how we're doing it this time. I should have done my research. I've been paying attention to other things too. So anyway, you can see the exact time on the Facebook page for communion distribution outdoors, and we hope you'll take advantage of that. Otherwise, we'll gather for worship on Sunday morning at 11:15, and we'll go back into the world again to be the consistent witness to the gospel that we're called to be. There have been results, of course, in Washington, D.C. in terms of city council races and the council member at large positions, but also in Ward 2, Foundries Ward, where the Democratic candidate, Brooke Pinto, who won the primary and the special election, has now won the general election. And so that will be a space of relationship building for our congregation and for our neighborhood as we continue to do work around public housing, affordable housing, working with our friends at Thompson Elementary School, along with congregations like Luther Place and Mount Vernon Place, United Methodist, as we can continue to draw the attention of the council to the persisting issues that affect the students of our schools and our neighborhoods, in particular Thompson, because we have a lot of students who are learning English still and need the additional wraparound support. So we're going to do whatever we can to help our neighbors and our kids, our students, be successful as they navigate. And then we'll make sure to update you as we get deeper into still some budgetary process in DC, but also what it looks like with the new council members and how you can be present in these virtual spaces. The Wilson Building is still not open, so it is still a bit difficult. One of the things that we're particularly mindful of in this moment is how emergency winter plans are going to affect our unhoused neighbors. Daytime services are still largely offline in the city. Shelters are open 24 hours, but spaces that would typically see people taking respite, like libraries, restaurants, to be able to pop in or out to get warmed up and things like that, they're just not really an option this year. And so it may take some virtual action and some meeting with council members to ensure that we have safe spaces for people and I mean safe spaces, because that's not always the case for the shelters. That's just the fact of the matter. So ensuring that we have safe spaces for our unhoused neighbors this winter as the weather continues to turn. I'll endeavor to keep you updated. The Sacred Resistance team will endeavor to keep you updated on those things, um, and maybe that can help ground you back into what's happening locally versus what's happening nationally, which of course deserves your attention in this moment. But that's what I got for you. Big thank you to Brian, as always, for supporting us on Friday. We will continue to check in with you, continue to be in an attitude of prayer, and we'll see you on Sunday. Go be people of peace. Go be people who are for peace, but not a peace that protects power and privilege, but a peace that pursues justice with every fiber of your being, and go in the power of the Spirit to do that type of work. Go in peace. Go to serve the Lord who loves you. Bye, friends. Happy Friday.